At the outset, let me just state for the record that the Blue Ribbon Committee has not yet terminated the inquiry in the legislation on the anomalous flood control projects. No? Be that as it may, I have directed the committee to commence crafting with the crafting of a partial committee report in that regard. However, due to the volume and gravity of complaints regarding the issuance of LOAs and other related issues or activities in the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and in response to the Senate resolutions filed by the Vice Chairman, Senator Erwin Tulfo, and Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, the inquiry is being held today, and the Blue Ribbon Committee is again convened to conduct this inquiry in aid of legislation. So we are honored by the presence of the Acting Secretary of Finance, Frederick Go. Good morning, sir. And two former and one incumbent commissioners of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, namely Attorney Kim Enarez, Attorney Romeo Lumagi, and Commissioner Charlie Mendoza. Welcome. The others will be, the presence of the others will be acknowledged by the committee secretary later. Yeah, I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of the Senate President. Good morning, sir. And the, as I mentioned earlier, the Vice Chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Erwin Tulfo, who authored resolution number 180, actually. And also Senator J.B. Ejercito. Welcome back. JB. Are you online? Good morning, JB. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay na yung platelets mo. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome back, even via Zoom or WebEx. Yeah. So, Attorney Kimbo, kindly. Wala ba si...
Only po sa birthday.
Only. Okay. Please kindly acknowledge the presence of the resource persons.
Good morning, Your Honors. Today, the witnesses present are the following. From the Department of Finance, Secretary Frederick V. Go. From the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Commissioner Carlito Martin Mendoza. Attorney Rufino Cantaros, Head Revenue Executive Assistant. Mr. Luis Sixtus Escrivas, Office of the Commissioner. Then we have Regional Director Renato Molina, Revenue District Officer Trinidad Villamil, Revenue District Officer Renato Mina. We have Revenue District Officer Lorenzo de los Santos. We have Revenue District Officer Yolanda Zafra. We have Revenue District Officer Antonio Mangubat. We have Revenue District Officer Celestino Viernes. We have OIC Chief for Large Taxpayer Audit Division, Miguel Angelo D. Alfaro. OIC Chief, Excise Large Taxpayer Audit Division, Ryan Calvin Morga. We have OIC Assistant Chief, Excise Large Taxpayer, Francis F. Nabua. We have OIC Assistant Chief, Regular LO Audit Division, Pauline Lydia M. Reyes. We also have Mr. Josh Allen Pilapil, Technical Assistance, Office of the Commissioner. From the Chiefs of VAT Transactions, we have Mr. Winston Sabado, Ms. Fe Lucas, Ms. Nina Cristina M. Espiritu. We have Ms. Lilibeth Nazario. We have Mr. Benedict Bacani. We have Ms. Marlene Dumapias. We have Ms. Karen Esperaguera. We also have with us, Your Honors, former Commissioner Romeo Lumagi, and those are the personalities present today. We have invited Ms. Elizabeth Lee from the Chairperson Federation of Philippine Industries. She has confirmed her attendance but is not yet present at the moment.
Please administer the oath to the resource persons.
May we request all invited guests to please stand up and raise the right hand for the oath. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this investigation? This I do to affirm your answer. Thank you very much. You may sit down.
Thank you. The Senate President is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm actually here to listen, so I will be giving way to the author of Resolution 180, Senator Erwin Tulfo, and the author of Resolution 201, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The Vice Chairman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Today, this Blue Ribbon Committee convenes to confront a matter that strikes at the very core of public trust and governance. The misuse and abuse of the Bureau of Internal Revenue's letter of authority and mission orders. Instruments that by law should protect the integrity of our tax system, but which have reportedly become tools for harassment, coercion, and worse, extortion. For years, small and big businesses mula po sa maliliit na family convenience store hanggang sa malalaking korporasyon have raised serious concerns recently. Many claim that they were subjected not to fair tax assessment, but to pressure, intimidation, and questionable demands in exchange for the withdrawal or softening of tax investigations. Kahit po ang mga international companies, hindi na ninyo pinatawad, pinatus na ninyo. Itong mga kumpanya na ito na nagdadala ng trabaho, teknolohiya at pamumuhunan sa bansa ay hindi raw nakaligtas sa ganitong uri ng pang-aabuso ayon na rin mismo sa iba't ibang foreign chambers of commerce dito sa ating bansa at mismo ang kanilang mga ambassador. Let me be clear. The purpose of the letter of authority and mission order is to ensure that taxes owed to the government are collected properly, transparently, and lawfully. Hindi ito dapat gamitin bilang sandata ng pananakot o instrumento ng korupsyon. Unfortunately, only 2% of the total tax collected by the BIR from the business sector came from LOAS or mission orders. The 98%, ladies and gentlemen, from voluntary tax payments by the businesses. So ibig sabihin, Mr. Chair, 2% lamang ang pumapasok sa kaban ng bayan sa total tax collection. Yung the rest, 98% voluntary. So where did the rest of the collection go from these instruments? E di po sa bulsa ng mga examiner, RDOs, at regional directors. Ganito po yung modus, Mr. Chair. 25% lang ng koleksyon kasi napupunta sa gobyerno yung may resibo. 75% goes straight to their pockets. If these complaints are true, then we are looking at systematic abuse that harms not only individual taxpayers, but also the nation's business climate and international reputation. Kapag nawalan po ng tiwala ang negosyo, local man o foreign, nawawala rin po ang trabaho, nawawala ang kita at oportunidad para sa ating mga kababayan. Today, this committee will seek the truth, Mr. Chair. We will examine how LOAS and mission orders have been issued, enforced, and allegedly exploited. We will ask hard questions. We will demand clear answers. And we will hold accountable anyone who has betrayed their sworn duty to serve with integrity. Our goal here is simple: to restore trust, protect our taxpayers, and ensure that public power is never, ever again used for private gain. Maraming salamat po. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman Tulfo. Senator JB, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To our Senate President, of course, our colleague Senator Tulfo, President, good morning. The very instrument meant to ensure lawful tax compliance is being weaponized for corruption and extortion. Simulan po natin buksan ang issue ng pang-aabuso ng ilang kawani ng BIR sa pamamagitan ng issuance ng Letter of Authority o LOA noong Department of Finance briefing para sa 2026 budget. Inulit ko ito sa plenary interpellation ng budget at lumabas na pati pala sa iba pang nating mga kasamahan na senador, marami na rin pong subong sa kanila. Lalo na ang mga ambassador at mga miyembro ng American European Chambers ang may umangal na laban sa mga luwa ng BIR at nakakahiya na talaga po tayo. Alam natin na ang mahalagang papel na ginagawa ng BIR sa pagpupondo ng mga programa ng gobyerno, ngunit base sa mga impormasyon natin, tila na agrabyado ang gobyerno dahil pinagkakitaan din ang tax collection. May mga lumapit po sa ating tanggapan at may kanya-kanyang sumbong, ngunit ang malinaw ay ito, mayroong umiiral ng mga modus sa BIR na nakumpirma natin dahil sa mga nakuha natin mga impormasyon. Ito po ang mga sumusunod, letters of authority, ang multiple laws. Ang una pong modus base sa mga report sa atin ay ang pag-issue ng multiple laws within a taxable year or succeeding taxable years. Naranasan daw po ito ng mga taxpayer mula sa Quezon City na Jurisdiction and Revenue Region number 7A kung saan sa loob ng 6 na buwan, 4 na lawa ang inisyu sa kanya. Ikinuwento na rin po ng isang sender na 4 na beses na siyang nagkaroon ng lawa mula sa BIR Lawag, tig-2 para sa kanilang mini grocery at kainan. Isa lang siyang pangkaraniwang negosyante na nagsusumikap para sa pamilya at sa 3 nilang anak. Utang sa bangko ang kanilang pinambayan sa BIR. Ang isa kaya bloated or unsupported assessment, Mr. Chair. Bukod po sa multiple laws, mayroon din pong lumalabas sa report sa atin tungkol sa bloated na halaga ng tax assessment na walang basihan. Ang report po sa atin ay nag-offer, halimbawa ang BIR examiner sa City of Manila, na isettle ang lawas sa halagang 400,000 all-in dahil hindi sila pumapayag sa hinihilagay, naglabas ang examiner ng assessment na umabot ng 13 million o 13 million pesos. At nakakapagtaka raw dito dahil ang gross sales lang ang nagnegosyo ay 12 million pesos. Hindi pa nababawas sa expenses pero mas malaki pa ang assessment kaysa mismong kinita. Wala rin sapat na suporta o baseng dokumento ang pinapakita computation. Isang negosyante rin, Mr. Chairman, ang nag-report ng kanyang naranasan kung saan ang original assessment amount niya na umabot ng milyon ng halaga ay na-negotiate niya na bumaba hanggang 500 hanggang 800,000 na lamang. Sa halaga nito, 100,000 lamang ang may resibo at ang balanse ay sa bulsa na napupunta. Ang problema raw, taon-taon na siyang may LOA dahil pumapayag siya sa settlement na lamang. Naging cycle na po tuloy ang extortion. Meron po nabanggit kanina rin po ang ating kasama si Senator Tulfo, yung po sa scheme, yung 70-30, minsan po ay 75-25 pa. Nabanggit ko na po sa ilang interview tungkol sa 70-30 na modus kung saan mahigit 70% ng halaga ng assessment na binabayan taxpayer ay nabubulsa ng matagabayan at halos 30% na lamang ang may resibo at napupunta sa kaban ng bayan. May report din po sa atin sa negotiation pa lamang ay nakaset na ang compromise amount kung saan 20% to 30% lamang ang para sa gobyerno at ang remaining portion ay paghahatian na ng examiners, supervisors at higher-ups kung gaano kataas umabot ang kickback. Yan po ang dapat natin alamin. Ang isa pa rin ay extortion in the guise of compromise. Naranasan ng isang korporasyon sa Bulacan ang modus na extortion in the guise of compromise. Sa impormasyon na nakarating sa amin, ang tax examiner ang mismong nag-aalok ng mas mababang halaga para sa 30 milyon na deficiency na in-offer na 1.2 million na lamang at 800,000 for the boys at 400,000 ang nasa resibo. Mas malaki po ang kickback kaysa sa resibo. Sa isang report natin, lantaran na tinatanong isang examiner kung magkano ang budget. Malaki o maliit ang isang negosyo, target ka ng BIR at pareho po mga kwento ng mga business owners na ito. Nagagamit ang LOA sa harassment, coercion at pilit na negosasyon. Ang negotiation ay hindi upang maresolba ang tax deficiency, kundi ito ay upang masigurado ang halaga na mapunta sa kanila. Sa halip na tulungan natin ang ating mga kababayan na lumugo ang negosyo, ginigipit pa ang pinagkakakitaan. Takot din po ang ating mga kababayan na magsumbong sa BIR offices dahil sa pangamba na mas lalo sila pag-iinitan at gipitin. Mr. Chairman, sabi nga po nag-email sa akin ng kanyang LOA experience ay dalawang klase daw ang tax natin ayon sa BIR. Ang unang klase, magkano sa BIR, at ang pangalawa naman, magkano ang sa amin. Nakakalungkot po na mula sa isang malaking ahensya gaya ng DPWH hanggang sa isang bureau katulad ng BIR, kanya-kanyang scheme burdos at kanya-kanyang scam na ang ating mga kababayan. Nagsimula sa floodgates, ngayon naman po, ay LOA naman po. Mr. Chairman, we have to stop this culture of corruption that is now plaguing this country. Mr. Chair, maasa po ako na magiging ganang komite na ito upang matigil na itong ganitong pang-aabuso sa ating mga kababayan. Makikinig po tayo at maghahanap ng mga karagutan at solusyon. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator JB. Point of clarification lang, are all or some of these narrations in affidavit forms?
Mr. Chair, most of them are sa mga emails that were sent to my office. We will be submitting the same to the committee.
Kasi alam niyo naman, you and I know na dalawa yung aspects ng mandate ng Blue Ribbon, di ba? Inquiry in aid of legislation, yung sa accountability of public officers, and investigation. The other aspect could lead us to filing criminal complaints, administrative and criminal complaints against those who may be held accountable for their action. So kaya ako tinanong kung naka-affidavit form or if at all, kung mako-convert natin into affidavit or sworn statements yung mga narrations. Kasi these are damning narrations, di ba? Or experiences.
Yes, we will do our best, Mr. Chair. As you all know, lahat naman ng tao, mostly businesses are afraid. Takot talaga sa BIR. Lahat naman tayo, kahit takot sa BIR eh. So we will do our best that we will be able to submit some in affidavit form, Mr. Chair.